The social masochist. Pain is extremely valuable. It lets you know when something is wrong. I've hurt people. I feel bad. I don't want to do it again. So I pick at old scabs. The wounds stay fresh, the memories blade open. I will not forget. I cannot forget. I'm not able to forget. My memory is broken. Guilt. I wear it like a red string, tied to an index finger, blood-soaked and pointing inward. History cannot repeat itself when time is frozen like this, but this is the fallacy of the social masochist. Re-injury upon injury upon injury. To avoid inflicting further injury, inner conflict, pain, and misery. Spiritually disfigured, the soul leaks pus, layered and leprous, open sore stories of traumatic events not allowed to heal. The mouth and hands the most grotesque. It hurts when I open up, so I open up on purpose. Not opening up at all hurts worse. I hurt people that don't deserve it. With beliefs and thoughts, like razor blades and salt. Self-fulfilling prophecies of doom. I see the future as lemon juice soaking sutures. But hey, at least I'm not hurting you.
I hated coming home at night to an empty house. The other kids had to go in at dinner time and couldn't come back out. I could always play outside forever. I was always the last to go home and always alone to face the bad people. The bad people. I can still see their faces. If they weren't waiting in the bathtub and shower to stab me, they were one step ahead or behind me, walking from room to room until I got upstairs to my room. I never tried to catch them, though. I just wanted them to know that I knew they were there, and that they were there somewhere between me, my bed, and the stairs. So I'd leave the lights on for them, and sometimes my dinner too. My mother hated that, but she was never there. The silence itself would make noise, fast wah-wahs far then close. Every night, I'd make a new path on my floor so only I could walk through it silently without knocking things over or making any noise. I would set booby-trap tripwires and rig up burglar alarms with children's Toys R Us do-it-yourself electric kits, and I'd listen intensely and flinch at every creak. I never said a word to them, because to hear an answer back would have sent me into shock. So basically, I participated and planned my own death and funeral every night around 9 o'clock. I laid in bed, stiff and perfectly straight, completely hidden under a blanket pulled tight around me, even over my head. I tried so hard to look and act like a mummy. My blanket was a royal blue comforter with a white linear floral design pattern on the back. It looked so girly, and I hated it, but I'd turn it over so the ugly girly flower side was on top, on the outside, so the bad people would think I was already dead, like a mummy, and I would make no sounds and not move an inch, and when I really had to move to scratch an itch, I did it super unnoticeably slow. And I try to stop breathing, and I try to stop my heart from beating. When I couldn't, I'd loosen the blanket just a little bit from around my torso, so there was just enough empty space between the blanket and my chest, so the blanket never moved when I breathed. And once my mother came home, I'd roll over and go to sleep, unless she was drunk. In the summertime, I'd go so far as to build a sarcophagus tent around the bottom bunk. But when the paranoia got real bad, I'd pull the clothes out of all my drawers and put them in one big giant pile on the closet floor and do hide and play dead under there, and always held my bathroom for hours, of course. Then, I started sleeping with a baseball bat, 2 knives, and nunchucks, and I'd have my funeral next to the open window so I could jump out if I had to. And during the day, I would practice jumping out of the window, 2 stories blindfolded or with my eyes closed, no problem. I'd spend hours laying in suspended animation suspense. If I didn't do all this, the bad people would kill me, and I would keep my eyes rolled up in the back of my head as far as they would possibly go, because I knew they'd check if they even suspected that I wasn't already dead yet. They wanted to stab me, nothing else. They were always there, everywhere in the country, stabbing people, like Olga down the street and my friend little Amy Baker. They were killed simply because there are bad people, and they kill people. Sometimes they are drunk or on drugs. They've killed everyone who was ever murdered. But I'm not afraid of the bad people anymore, because on Friday, I became one of them. I stabbed somebody, there I said it, but I still hate coming home to an empty home and sleeping alone. Every night when I go to bed now, I have a new ritual. 1, customary quick time spent flat on back, less than 10 seconds. 2, 1 finger kiss blown to each glow-in-the-dark star on the roof. 3, send and receive imaginary messages from my ex-girlfriend. 4, then pray. 5, twisting roll to the right. 6, tug pillow down twice. Ready? Break! Lift upper torso, twist and switch, facing sides, lift, twist and switch, facing back, back and forth, listen to chatter, and still have wah-wah panic attacks. Squeeze pillow down over my face and pass myself out until I dream. But I dream in nightmares of taking scar tissue and scabs and peeling them off like stickers and putting them in an airtight Ziploc sandwich bag, pour lighter fluid in there, light it on fire and bury it under the ground burning so the worms can get in and all my guilt can get gone. Hide and play dead is for children and sissies. The object of the game now is to go from room to room in the dark, ahead and behind the other bad people, and smash them into oblivion with a 30-pound sledgehammer divining rod antler in my brain. JCPD, PDQ, BS, PTSD flashes, bullshit. Mommy's gone, tubes and needles. Mommy's gone, too much cocaine. Open sore wounds and a ghost coming out your mouth. Stephanie wearing nothing but a blanket sleeps on the couch like a cat, spread eagle and peaceful. And me under the other covers, not breathing but more than equal to most of the other really terrible bad people when I strike. Compared to me, they are all like James Saltine's dead dog, with 2 forks holding their chest open while he paints them. Rib cage exposed, guts hanging out like math needs numbers. I need more bad people for animal torture, more shit data and poetry. That's the sound my testicle makes when I stick needles in it to intimidate the other bad people, right as they're about to pass out. Sometimes, when my testicle pops, I close my eyes and see millions upon millions of Rene Magritte paintings with titles like, "This is not a piece of shit. This is not a piece of flesh. This is not a piece of evidence yet. This is not scar tissue and scabs in a Ziploc bag. And this is not a knife that's gonna be found any day now with no blood or fingerprints 12 inches down in the dirt next to Muncie Church. And this is not good people bleeding and hurt. This is not a redneck with 9 redneck friends talking shit to me and me stabbing him at Dixieland. And this is not half a bottle of sake. This is not denial. This is not a game called Hide and Play Dead. This is confession time. I called it, come out, demon, come out. And the best place for it to come out is my head.
Subject in question presents with a variety of symptoms. Symptom A, hallucinations, false perceptions. Subject in question sees and hears things others do not. Symptom B, cognitive impairments, abstract reasoning. Subject in question does not reach conclusions that are obvious or logical to everyone else. Symptom C, language problems. Subject in question communicates oddly in a way that is hard for us to understand. Symptom D, behavioral disturbances, mutism. Subject in question refuses to communicate verbally and he exhibits signs of random behavior almost constantly. Symptom E, alogia, poverty of speech. Subject in question has great difficulty engaging in conversation. Symptom F, delusions, thought broadcasting. Subject in question believes all people can communicate to him through thought broadcasting. The subject in question here is not these people on TV, it's not me, and it's not any of you. The subject in question here is God, and I speak with great certainty and accuracy when I say if God's not dead, he is schizophrenic, and he needs to start taking his motherfucking medicine. He needs to do it now. Dear God, who's in charge? Dear God, who's running the show? Father God, what's wrong with you? Father God, why do innocent children get raped, butchered, slaughtered, and tortured so much, Father God? Father God, don't you like kids? Father God, how can you sleep at night? God, don't have a conscience, do you? What kind of God are you that would answer the prayers of child molesters and not the parents and the child? Father God, what the fuck is wrong with you? There's evil all over inside this fucking planet right now, and I can't understand anything you tell me because I don't understand thought broadcasting, Father God. There, Father God, get your head out of your ass, quit being so selfish and pay attention to the kids. Master plan, Father God. Father God, are you deaf? What kind of sick bastard God has a plan that involves the abduction of children and then the molestation, butcher, and murder of same-sex child? What kind of sick motherfucker has a plan like that, Father God? Omnipotent my ass, Father God, you are weak. Father God, Jessica Lunsford, 3 days in a closet, bleeding from the vagina, then buried alive. What the fuck is wrong with you? Kill me now, judge me, strike me down. If we don't judge you, Father God, who the fuck will? Oh, I'm so scared, Father God. You must be on vacation, need some medication. Get your thumb out of your ass, Father God, and start smiting people now. And show me something, Father God. A 9-year-old girl does it, and it has no problems. You know she was praying to you. Her parents were praying to you. 20 million people are praying to you, and you answer the prayers of a child molester. Fuck you. You should be ashamed of yourself, and I'm ashamed to be called a Christian, Father God. Shame on you. It's okay to be schizophrenic, Father God. Just take your medicine. Since you don't understand language too good, the next part here is for you, Father God.
One time I went to the store and just stopped breathing when I walked in the door. One time I went to the store and smelled all of the meat in the store. One time I went to the store and stole cigarettes and got arrested for resisting arrest in the store. One time I went to the store and tried to steal gas, but the Arabs that worked in the store held my friend Craig hostage in the store until I came back with the money. One time I went to the store and got shocked by a stun gun pen in the store. One time I went to the store and almost got electrocuted by the arcade game Galaga. One time I went to the store and an old man was getting CPR on the floor of the store. One time I went to the store and spit on a girl in the store. One time I went to the store and a dozen black guys were kicking and beating two white guys in the store. One time I went to the store and saw someone get stabbed in front of the store, so I just kept driving. One time I went to the store and was horsing around in the store with a friend and a basketball, and a newborn baby in a shopping cart almost got its head smashed in by the basketball in the store. One time I went to the store and a police officer backed into a car full of rednecks. The rednecks called him the N-word, and in anger the policeman drove his car into the store, and lots of people were cut and bleeding all over the store. One time I went to the store and the cashier's face melted off. One time I went to the store and faked a seizure so my friend could steal a dozen eggs in the store. One time I went to the store and saw two people hooked up to IV bags in the back of the store. One time I went to the store and an 11-year-old girl wouldn't stop grabbing my grandfather's groin, saying, "Hey mister, give me $1, let me feel your dick. Hey mister, let me feel your dick for $1 in the store." One time I went to the store and saw a customer wearing a football helmet and a diaper, and the cashier had a gun. One time I went to the store and saw blood all over the walls and floor. One time I went to the store and took a shit on the bathroom floor of the store because the toilet was so nasty. One time I went to the store, walked into the walk-in freezer and took off all of my clothes and sat on a case of cheese until the manager made me leave the store. I still go to the store. You have to. What else can you do? You can't live without the store.
My body needs another home. A gaping mouth in the center of my forehead so the cerebral cortex nausea will end when I stick an index finger all the way in. I don't have the racing thoughts, stupid. I've got the block after city block of rush hour traffic jam cognitive gridlock with fender bender smog, rubbernecker thoughts, meters running, books on tape on sidewalks, horns, sirens, road rage, and curse words, and I'm Harik. What's your 20, good buddy? Come back. My memory is my enemy. Neurons fire their weapons at concentration camp victims as they rush from the synapses trenches, then throw themselves onto the electric fences. The only thing moving around on my bed now are brain waves, and I get motion sickness. My body needs another hole, a frontal lobe tunnel throat where my third eye's supposed to go for the children. Arms out, making airplane sounds with their mouths, weaving, kamikaze, dive bombing, bumper to bumper, bug zapper Nazis. Out there living the F South Jakuna. See what I mean? It's all psychosomatic, sympathetic magic and big words. Extra, extra, the front part of my brain hurts. So I'm gonna pay $500 to eat the front part of a wild bear's brain. Stupid! My body needs another hole, but the reasons have changed. Listening to a dead man sing, stop the tape, telephone rings, missed the charisma, Promethazine.
Near-death experience. NDE for short. Way too much cocaine. Blood foaming out my mouth and nose. The capital letter D for dead bodies looking at me, through me, in a row. At the wrong end of the tunnel of light, 40 billion individual souls lined up single file in hell to show me personally their suffering and pain. One at a time, backlit by the fiery sky. I could see for at least 200 miles and never saw the end of the line. The ground beneath me a Mars black carpet of heads. The masses inching forwards, barely moving, like staring at the floor with one hit shitty LSD effects. And the devil was big. His fingertips eclipsed the sun. And the black Mount Olympus off to the west. A small tiny piece of his shoulder muscle flexed, waving the crowd to come on. The first person who showed me their pain stepped forward. A big naked black lady with swollen legs, hands and face, turquoise lips, bloodshot eyes rolled up in her head, and white gold glitter crystals stuck to her skin and hair, all over her, everywhere. Like a retorted blind person, she grabbed me by my ears, pulled me to her face, and threw up thick seawater glue into my mouth. It made me mute. Then, in one split-second gesture mind, hidden post-traumatic flashes long repressed and buried under the back of my mind. The panic gouged my chest out, and I crapped in my pants. Wait a minute, I know who you are. You're the first dead lady I ever saw. 5:45 a.m., Ocean City, Maryland. I was looking for seashells on the beach. I wanted to surprise my grandmother. I thought you were a shark. Hey, Granddaddy, over here, look what I found. You were filled with the sands of the ocean. Don't look at her, Bryan, she's drowned. She backed away into the line. The next three behind her came forward together. I'd never seen their faces before, but I knew exactly who they were, and I knew it right away. They were the Christmas car crash kids from Florida. Parts and pieces all over the fucking highway. Jumbled up, mixed around with presents, scattered like litter, thrown out the sides of a Volkswagen Bug for over a quarter of a mile on 95 North. They hit me hard with pictures of all the toys I saw, then grabbed me by the scruff of my neck and shoved my face down into the floorboard, just like my family tried to do. Don't look at them. Put your head down. Don't look at us. Keep your head down. Stop looking. Don't look at me. All the while dead, forcing me to see truly gruesome, detailed scenes of misery that I blacked out. The shot was maddening. The line moved on. Dead body after dead body. I can't believe I've seen so many dead bodies. By about number 20 or so of the real life dead body slideshow, and over 39 billion left to go. My legs and heart gave out, and I fell to my knees and wept. Hard, without sound, not for them, but selfishly for me. I was all wrong. There was no infinite suffering souls in a pain line. Hell was 40 billion dead body human slideshow projectors projecting personal secret images of suffering, all mine. The thick seawater throw up glue in my mouth gave out, and once again I heard my own gurgling moans. Then all at once, 40 billion experiences now exposed, burned out every single one of my fucking rods and cones like hot crimson metal pulled from coals, placed right in front of me, then shoved back into my eyeballs. White light
And after all that, I still do way too much cocaine. Angel dust, animal tranquilizer, Aurora Borealis Belladonna black dust, black whack, boat, butt naked, fake cannabinol, cigarette, CJ, cliffhanger, Columbo, Cosmos, crazy coke, crystal tea, cyclones, Detroit pink, devil dust, dipper, donk, drink, dummy dust, elephant tranquilizer, embalming fluid, energizer, earth flakes, fresh, fry sticks, fuel, goon dust, gorilla tabs, green leaves, green tea, happy sticks, HCP, heaven and hell, Herms, Hinkley, hog, horse tranquilizer, illies, momo, jet fuel, Jim Jones, juice, K-blast, caps, killer weed, KJ Cools, KW, leak Ebola, leaky leak, Lenos, lethal weapons, little ones, live ones, lovelies, love boat, mad dog, magic dust, mean green mint leaf, mint weed, missile basin, monkey dust, monkey tranquilizer, Niebla, OPP, octane, ozone, P-funk, parachute, parsley, PCP, painkiller, Pikachu, Pavo, coffee, raw, rickety raw, rocket fuel, Sherm stick, Sherman Hemsley, spaceballs, Stardust, STP, Super T-Buzz, tack, tic-tac, tragic, magic, whack, waters, wedge, wiki stick, wolf worm, yellow fever, zombie, weed and zooms. Here we go. When I was 6 years old, a grown man with no clothes on ran up the street, chased by police in front of my house, screaming about, "Where's my fucking bicycle? Give me my fucking bicycle! Want my fucking bicycle?" And he ain't have no bicycle. Years later on 10th and P, Northwest DC, a black girl named Boney, jacked up on PCP and meth, starving to death, they both for her children. 1914, she ate the youngin' first. One time she looked me dead in my eyes on the porch, said, "Ain't both of y'all sucking on my pussy?" And I was alone. Bathtub PCP in the kitchen, John Severe told 25 stories to 50 people not there. Same summer, party at Tim's, smoke KW, tastes like mint. Held on to a pole for 45 minutes in the basement. Footsteps under house coming down. Anyone down? He must have get out now. What's going on? You seen Tim? He got butt naked, stabbed 8 of his friends. Now he's jumping on the bed, busting plaster with his head. He's all fucked up and bleeding, leaving teeth marks on the ceiling. And people are known to kick out cop car cages and windows. Handcuffs busted like there ain't nothing. And Rodney King was dusted. Every bush is a jungle, sweating to death. More paranoid than lab monkeys on meth. Every semi-truck on the interstate is the exact same semi-truck, same deja vu. Job clicking on the highway. 1/3 conscious, 2/3 out your fucking mind in the fast lane. Doing 10 and a 7 and singing deja vu, try day. And when that happens, you're fucked, 'cause ain't no angels on angel dust. Cleanliness is next to machineliness, because godliness has become filthy, and I'm guilty by perception, so quit staring on me, I ain't retarded! Methyl alcohol, you're huffing methanol, you're breathing methanol. CH3OH, methyl alcohol, you're huffing methanol, you're breathing methanol, huffing methanol, huffing methanol. CH3OH, methyl alcohol, we're huffing methanol, we're breathing methanol.
Methyl alcohol. You're huffing methanol. You're breathing methanol. CH3OH, methyl alcohol. You're huffing methanol. You're breathing methanol. Huffing methanol. Huffing methanol. CH3OH, methyl alcohol. We're huffing methanol. We're breathing methanol.
Pathophysiology ceasing to exist, the cessation of life as defined by physician, total stoppage of the circulation of blood, no respiration, the absence of all vital signs, coma de passé, no pulsation, and the loss of brainstem reflexes, completely unaware of externally applied painful stimuli for at least 10 full minutes, with no ocular movement, no blinking, no swallowing, no vocalization, no yawning, no corneal reflex, no breathing, no choking, no coughing, no gag reflex, no tracheal suction, irreversible loss of function of the whole brain, including the brainstem and cerebral cortex, requiring measurements of reflex pathways in the mesencephalon and pons. The medulla oblongata was the last to go. The etiology of coma known. Absence of drug intoxication and poisoning, absence of sedation and neuromuscular blockade, hypotension, absence of severe hypothermia, irreversible unconsciousness, as verified by isoelectric EEG findings, acute CNS catastrophe with compatible radioactive isotope angiography, autonomic storm, T99 transcranial Doppler ultrasonography, conventional cerebral angiography, somatosensory evoked potential brain death in child, clinical exam the same as in adults, with no pupillary response to light. Pupils dilated in midline, no oculovestibular reflex, tonic deviation of the eyes toward a cold stimulus, no oculocephalix reflex, doll's eyes, contraindicated in injuries to the C-spine, brainstem herniated through foramen magnum, giving no response to plantar noxious stimulation, supraorbital pressure, temporomandibular joint, nail bed of fingers, metal instrument with a sharp point scraped along the bottoms of both feet, last clinical assessment apnea testing. The normal sequelae of brain death resulted in cardiovascular instability and poor organ perfusion, providing hemodynamic stabilization. Pontine ischemia occurred with elevated ICP or brainstem herniation, Cushing's response. Mixed vagal and sympathetic outflow bradycardia, HTN, irregular breathing, neurogenic shock, result of defective vasomotor control and subsequent loss of SVR. Hypovolemic shock, therapeutic dehydration for cerebral edema, hemorrhage. Diabetes insipidus with massive diuresis, osmotic diuresis due to hyperglycemia. Cardiogenic component, hypothermic depression of myocardial contractility, left ventricular dysfunction. Cardiovascular system, intensive care management. Use albumin if PT and PTT are normal. Use FFP if PT and PTT are abnormal. Value greater than 1.5x control PRBC to maintain a PCWP of 8 to 12 mmHg and HGB greater than 10 mg over DL. Cardiovascular system, use Dextran 40 to improve microcirculation, tissue oxygenation, and reduce risk of thromboembolic complications. Ventilator management, avoid histamine-releasing agents. Maintain adequate oxygenation, 75 to 100 mmHg. Avoid oxygen toxicity in support of body homeostasis. Anesthetic management, maintaining hemodynamics for organ procurement procurement, routine administration of non-nephrotoxic antibiotics to prevent transmission of infection to immunosuppressed recipients, development of a cellular energy deficit. Stability initial management involves fluid resuscitation with crystalloid or colloid. Continued triple therapy, T3, vasopressin, and steroids. Insulin infusion may be required to maintain HCT greater than 30% to facilitate O2 carrying capacity to donor organs. Anesthesiologist should verify documentation of family consent given upon notification of patient's brain death.
I am a vulture, guardian, avenger, smelling death and decay from miles away. Feeding off of the dead to purify the environment. I shit on my own self to bake the bacteria off and can stomach almost anything. Descendant of the griffin, and a living lesson that all hardship is temporary and necessary for a higher purpose. Beholder of the eyeballs of victims. A vulture. A hero for 2 days. Rank, putrid, rotting culture. I am a vulture.
I shake the stick and the various everything. I victim. Guardians of Vulture, smelling death and